Oh, we are here. It is, what is it? It's Valentine's Day. Oh, we shouldn't be here. I don't think we should be here. This is a bad idea, but we're gonna do it anyway. So, all right, I got some peoples here. We're gonna get into it. What's up, guys?
What up?
What's cracking?
Yeah, don't tell anybody I'm here.
Yeah, don't tell anybody I'm here. The better half is still in the office, so nobody tell anybody. If the stream just ends, then the garage door is up and we're out of here. So what's up, guys? What's cracking? How's the East Coast?
It's good.
Getting warmer, kinda, sorta, trying. It was like 50. It's 45 today. I'm not complaining. I'll wear shorts in this.
I saw it's gonna be like 28 next week, so
I know.
Yeah. That's awful. That just makes me want to go put on a coat. Like just listening to you guys talk about the cold makes me cold and want to go put on a coat. So,
Yeah,
sounds about right.
So everybody watched the big game. Everybody watched the Super Bowl for the commercials because I sure did. The commercials were great. We got a new Mando trailer that dropped, from what I understand. I didn't catch the first half hour of the game. So word on the street is we got a new Mando trailer just 2 weeks before the drop of the episode. So 2 weeks from tonight, it's on.
Little tease, like
That's
when you bet on Boston Scott to get a touchdown and Jalen Hurt runs in himself 3 times at the goal line.
3 times.
Little tease like that, basically.
But yeah, I mean, there was. I watch for the commercials. I don't really have a here or there. I don't really care. But
I do too. I love the commercials. Like I remember when they used to be really, really good, but it's like rare now that you have one you remember for like a year until the next Super Bowl.
Right.
Also, can we talk about how shit used to be a secret? Like, you remember when you never heard about a trailer until the Super Bowl, and then you were like glued into every commercial waiting for something new to drop? What happened to that? Like, can we bring that vibe back to the Super Bowl?
That's very true. Although the game was competitive the entire time, so it kept everybody interested. This was an interesting commercial year. I thought they had a lot of fun, but more importantly, I was curious to see what Lucasfilm had on the agenda for because it's the biggest commercial space of the year. So we saw some Indiana Jones, from what I heard. We saw some Mando season 3. I can't think of anything else that we really got a chance to see. Can you guys? I mean, I think that's it for Lucasfilm.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, you don't want to see some more Willow?
I honestly haven't watched a frame yet. I haven't watched one.
You didn't really miss a whole lot.
I felt like that was going to get Scott hurt, so that's why I brought that.
No, I am hurt. Also, when I saw that you were coming, I had to step away for a second before we started to grab a drink. So,
yeah, there you go. Yeah. Drink them if you got them.
I have old.
Hold on to your butts, chat.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get a little spicy. Like I said, we'll see. I love how they use the wrong thumbnail. That's awesome. They used last week's thumbnail again. I think that's hilarious. So we're going to talk about a Bad Batch is the more important thing to have a conversation about. Last week's mid-season finale was honestly pretty awesome. I think each episode could have handled a week on its own. But yeah, they added the arrows for you. They listened last week.
I just was gonna say they're listening, bro. They added the holocrons.
Yeah. They added some things. They're listening to the viewers over
last week. I couldn't drop them,
and they watched. We had conversations about it. They watched and they were like, "Okay, he wants some triangles. Here's some triangles," and so they did it for you. So I mean, we're gonna talk about some Bad Batch. We had an episode last week, 2 of them. We were gifted with 2 of them. I don't think it was really needed. I think each of those episodes could have stood on their own and maybe given us a big finale. But he made it in from the outer rim.
What up?
He squeezed in from the outer rim.
I suppose I did.
So bad, dude.
Yeah, dude,
Kessel running 12 parsecs.
He was at. That was pretty awesome.
He squeezed in a rim job.
Scotty got his holocron. That's what's up.
Evan? Oh yeah, see, she remembers.
Yo,
I was talking
all right,
about it
what the
last
hell?
week.
Oh, should I
They're
do
listening,
that?
bro.
They're listening, and we love that they're listening. Okay, so you guys have noticed that the emoji chat is in. So the emoji rain is there as always. Get your emojis in. It's a lot of fun. We'll clear it out and start over as time goes by as it gets too full. We are also going to use the meme feature here, and we're going to do a poll a little later. But to go ahead and I don't know, we're gonna go ahead and drop this. I hope it works. We'll see if it works, but we are going to
See if the
invite.
Jedi get some love here.
We are going to. Is it gonna work? Oh, it worked.
Okay.
It's over Sheep's face. Okay, we can do that. Sheep,
Whoa.
just scooch to your left a little bit.
Right there,
all right.
guys.
So
Scan it.
this is a new feature brought to us by our friends over at Opus. I'm going to leave this up for a little bit, and basically, this is. Let me see if I can do this and see if it makes it a little bit. There we go. Even though there's not a fifth, we're just gonna. I'm gonna squeeze this over here. There you go. That's our fifth right
No,
there.
I like that.
That's our fifth. Okay. So you guys go ahead and give this a scan. It allows you to join in the conversation. And did it do that on its own?
Hey, let me do it. I was surprised.
Oh, yeah.
That's
This is the Wild West. Dude.
Davidson,
You start
what's up?
clicking around, everything will go crazy. It's amazing.
I didn't think it was gonna let me. So.
No, yeah, there's no control. This isn't StreamYard where I have control. This isn't Streamlabs where I'm in control. This is Opus in beta still.
Don't encourage him.
And it is the Wild West here. So yeah. It's
Oh
mad.
boy.
But go ahead and get your QR on. Put your little phone up to the screen and check out this QR code. It is going to allow you guys to drop a video comment. Now, it will let me see what you're saying. This AI is pretty intuitive and will write down what your comment is so I can know
Needed. That's definitely needed on the internet.
So if
Appreciate
it's blasphemous or not, I will not be adding it if it's blasphemous. But if it's something you want to add and you're in the chat, feel free to go ahead and scan that code, join the conversation, be part of the conversation, and let us know what you're thinking. So
yeah, we've actually censored the words "last" and "Jedi" and "8" and "episode." So good
What
luck.
if someone's talking about The Last of Us? It'll just be the of us.
No, sorry,
that doesn't belong
you
here
gotta
anyway.
think of talking about it a different way, guys.
That's not
Sorry.
even Disney. That's HBO. Get that shit out of here.
I know.
Pablo is a traitor.
It'll have to be the couple of us now.
So yeah, but yeah, get your comments
few
in.
of us.
You know, if you guys want to be part of the conversation, get your comments in. But yeah, we're gonna talk a little Bad Batch tonight, and really, where do we think we're going at this point? We lost a homie in the end of the last episode. We are down to 5 or 4. We're down to 4 on the ship. Echo's going with the homie. He's going with Rex to, what I think is going to be the rescue of potentially Wolf. He's got Gregor hanging in the winds. So could this be a hunt for Cody? Could it be they're going after Wolf first? Cody could be dead for all we know. We don't know. I mean, there's still hope. But yeah, where are we going from here, guys?
We're not killing these guys off screen. Come on.
I don't think so either. I think that would be kind of a cheap way to do it. To do it off.
Not my clones.
Yeah, not
For
Not the ones that have been around that long.
Yeah, for a guy that's that big of a character, you're not going to do that off screen like Hauser potentially. You know what I mean? Like Hauser probably got killed off a screen, which is unfortunate. But it fills in the context when we see him do it to another clone at the beginning of the season, and now, I don't think we would see that type of a thing with Cody where it happens off screen.
Or
that is interesting though.
Or is it a moment where the clones are in a special clone jail? Right? Are they taking all these rebellious clones and putting them in a facility? And that's where a breakout's going to happen, like Hauser, like Cody, some of these other rambunctious clones.
Rambunctious teenagers.
Yeah, I mean, it seems
Yo.
like, so this is what we're talking about, guys. Here, we're going to show it.
What's up, Hawk? Just let
That's it. What the fuck? That's how it works.
Cut yourself off?
No, I didn't.
What's up, Hawk? Just letting you know it might be a rough night for you. Hang in there, buddy.
See, so that's how it works, guys.
Appreciate
So
that. Appreciate that.
so get your, if you guys want to be part of the conversation, you can. But
Hey, before I get distracted, do you think this is probably a good question to just start this whole thing off? Where is the Deidre, like the Empire chick or man who is like on to the clones already, on to Clone Force 99? Like, other than Rampart, do you think there's someone else who's like putting the pieces together that's going to come out of left field and like be on them? You know what I mean? Because the Empire, I mean, not for nothing, they definitely know of them. They have Crosshair.
yeah, I mean,
I was wondering if anyone's putting the pieces together.
I don't think we've seen the end of the hunt for the Bad Batch yet. With, I think Rampart's out of the mix now. We'll
Want him to go rogue, like Callus, kind of, but in the
Right.
other way.
Right, exactly. Right. I think we're gonna start seeing, if that dude's even alive. Rampart could be another one that they kill off screen.
Yeah, true.
No, yeah, I actually really
Makes
liked
sense.
how he was done in the last two episodes. Like, it was such poetic justice. Like, screw that
Mhm.
guy.
Well, and
Yeah,
what
absolutely.
great, I mean, what great, not only what great writing by the writers, but what another masterful display of 3D chess that this guy is playing, of this 4D chess that Palps is playing, because that's what's happening. Everybody's like, "Ooh, they got him! Ooh, they got him! Ooh, they got him!" And he just pulls a rabbit right out of his ass, and he's like, "Here you go.
Gotcha.
This is how it is."
Yeah.
I'm,
And it just
I'm on-
shows how like, but how everyone is like, because of his injuries and what the Jedi did to him, they'll literally just believe anything he says now.
Anything
Literally
he says.
anything.
Everything that comes out of his
He has
mouth
a free pass.
is gospel at this point.
Like, if you are literally more just than the Jedi, bro,
Hey, he won the war.
Well, he won the war, right?
he literally won the
He
war.
won the war.
He won the war against himself, but to everybody else, he won the war, right? Like, I mean, he's the hero. I have come out of this war scarred and deformed for you, my people, right? Like, they're like,
Exactly.
yeah, you're the best. Go, Palpy.
Yo, and now they're like, now he's gonna be like, we will form an army for the people, by the people, to protect the
Right,
people.
like-
It's like, bro, no, that's not what I meant.
he won the war against himself, right? It's like when you're playing any game by yourself and you're playing both sides. You know what's gonna happen. There's no honesty there. You're cheating
Now they're just gonna
against
steal
yourself.
all your children. See what you did?
So yeah, it was a masterful stroke, because the whole episode you're like, ooh, they got his ass. Ooh, and the whole time he's like, it doesn't matter what you do. I got backups to backups to backups here. Like, you can't
He's always
own
been 66 steps ahead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it, dude. That's
Yo,
Contingency
hold
plan
up,
after
hold up.
contingency.
I just looked over at this. Obsession, you're at 980 subs right now.
I am.
There's 12 people
Hey.
watching. All of you grab somebody, 2 people, and
Yeah.
get this man over the top.
I mean,
Let's
don't
go.
grab him in a
Push.
in an awful way, but yeah, grab him.
No, like
Yeah.
go up, grab him by the
Nah, your
the cell
sister,
phone,
your
and make sure
grandmother.
that They go ahead and
I mean,
subscribe.
if I was
cousin.
out there, I would just
Send
grab
a link.
random people's cell phones in
Heck,
the grocery store. I'd be like,
That's
"Hold
what
on,
I'm
you guys
saying.
do-
Just
come here,
Yeah.
subscribe," and then throw it back in their cart and run away. But yeah, I mean, we're close, but we're not. We're not. What's the word I'm looking for? We're not advertising. We're just going with the flow, seeing how we're going. But yeah, we've been making
we're
some
pushing.
progress.
I
But-
watched
and-
this
and
do it to a
PS5
few
is
people,
still
so
down
you
there.
gotta give him that shout out.
It's right down here, right somewhere down in there area. But yeah, in fact, we were talking about that today, about the process in which we are going to verify entries this time. So yeah, things are going to be a little different on this giveaway. We're going to do it a little more. It's going to be a little more intense, I think, a little more secure, because some other folks fucked it up for everybody. So we can't just be down and dirty. So we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and maybe have I don't know. We're gonna there's gonna be verification. I've already started verifying
Hell
people in the
yeah.
Discord. So if I know you, if you've been part of the community, if you're not a double, because we want to make it honest for everybody. We're trying to, and that's not all we're giving away, dude. I got a whole slate of things that we are giving away. It's not just the PS5. We're gonna do. I got a phone controller for you guys that like to game on your phone. I got an iPhone controller that we're going to give away. I got a whole bunch of stuff. I just got a new helmet that we're going to give away, being as Mando is going to be up in 2 weeks. So hopefully this is going to be, I just got a brand new, ordered it today. It'll be here tomorrow. A brand new helmet. So when we hit 1,000 subscribers, I will share the list of what we got going on. I might even buy some gear. I might even buy like some webcams for the new streamers out there. So yeah, man, we're making moves. This is going to be fun for a lot of people. It's not just going to be one grand prize winner. I think we're going to buy some fun webcams so that you guys that want to be here, want to stream, want to be part of the conversation, can have something that's easy to use and you can join and have fun. So that's really what we're trying to do. I have been, guys, it's Matt Cave's fault. It's Matt Cave's fault. Matt Cave started the video review watching. I wasn't doing any of that. I was just having fun on YouTube. And then Matt Cave's like, yo, check it out. There's this awesome thing we're doing. And I'm like, all right. So we go and get some video reviews, channel reviews. And then it's like, uh-oh. And then we're doing it again. And now I'm doing it like 3 times a week. I'm watching, trying to get my channel reviewed because getting more info. And what I learned this last month, guys, is it's about you. It's not about me. It's about you. It's about the viewer. You guys are really what it's about. So, being as it's about the viewer, we're going to give away like half a dozen things, maybe some gift cards, maybe some Fortnite stuff. I don't know. You guys get on the channel. I'm going to put a post out. I'm going to put a poll out. You guys tell me what you want me to give away on top of the PS5.
That's why
Really?
this man's the GOAT.
Hey man, I'm like I said,
Smash the sub.
smash the like button.
Literally, please, somebody break the shit.
I'm giving away a Funko Pop. He's talking about giving away equipment and stuff. Like,
yeah, I mean, dude, it's I like to help folks. Hawks just got some new.
Hey guys, subscribe. I'm gonna give you this cool rock.
That is a
That's
really
cute.
cool rock. I don't know what you're talking about. That takes hours to do. I'm just giving away stuff that I push by now. But yeah, we like helping out the community. We just sent Hawk some gear, so he's ironing it out and getting that stuff tested out. We like to help everybody, so let's go. But back to the Bad Batch. Where are we going this week?
I wish I fucking knew, man.
We've been to Kashyyyk.
Same.
Right?
Yeah, no, I think all of us are with you on that, man. Like,
I feel like
I
it's
really
a good
liked-
start, like for something new, like unexpected.
yeah,
Mount
no, for
Tantus.
sure.
I mean,
No, yeah, Tantus back half of the
Please.
season would be awesome. And I loved your question, honestly, at the beginning, Hawks, of just what's happening to Rampart, really. And my biggest question on top of that is like, is someone going to take over kind of his position? Or as we kind of, you had seen in the chat, I don't know who put it in. I think it was Sabersmith, that maybe Tarkin's going to be kind of the new Rampart of the show. You know, like he's going to fill in that role and be like, let's take it.
I'll take that even a step further. Like the Empire brainwashes these guys so bad that when they get defected or even demoted, they turn into Cyril. Like, you think Rampart, a general, literally with his own Star Destroyer fleet, is going to take this demotion lightly?
well, unless he just gets offed outright.
That's what I'm saying. But
It seems more likely that he just gets the
you know
old
those
axe.
Empire defections.
The Empire doesn't take kindly to failure, right? I mean, that's something that they instilled, and that's something that they instilled in the OT trilogy, right? Is when everybody heard the Emperor was coming, everybody started shitting their boots. Everybody's like, "Oh, he's on his way. He's on his way. Oh, shit, somebody's gonna die today," right? Like that's basically how everybody feels, right? Like you don't want. I've been saying this for a while. Nobody wants their boss to show up, right? Tarkin shows up, you're in trouble, right? Vader shows up, you're in trouble. Inquisitors show. the higher up it gets, the more likely you are going to die. Right? The higher up it goes, the more likely you're done. So for me, I'm curious. I don't think we're gonna, I really hope they don't bring Vader into the equation yet. I hope that that's like the way that they get got. And I don't know if that's at the end of this season. I don't know if that's next season. I don't know if that's a couple seasons down the road. But I don't really want them to bring Vader in right now. I don't want to see these guys best Vader. It just doesn't feel authentic.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I don't think they can bring in Vader yet because they're not going to be able to best him. They would get wiped. Like, the floor would be wiped with them. Even if it is only like 6-7 months after Order 66, he's still somewhat new to the suit. It wouldn't be a contest.
Well, and
it wouldn't be.
He's even more rageful and vengeful than he ever was now, right? Padme just died. He's got no arms and I have no legs, right? I mean, he's got no arms. He's got no legs. He's got this suit that sucks, and it's torturous, right? He hasn't had a chance to modify his suit.
What do you call a guy with no arms and no legs hanging on your wall? Art.
I thought you were going with a Star Wars joke for a sec.
Have you guys never heard those? That's like the old dad jokes. Like there's a list of names. There's a list of names.
Bob and the water.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no arms and no legs.
Matt is on
ocean.
the front porch.
Bob. Exactly. You guys know. Anyway, sorry.
Vader's still, working on his castle. Vader's still, getting his saber on. He's got work to do. He's hunting Jedi.
He's distracted for a while if he just became Vader recently.
Right. So being as this is in the first year of the Empire, Vader's busy. And I don't really think we'll get to see him unless it's the final episode. If that's the way they finish,
he's probably just getting his first Kyber right around now.
That's what I'm saying.
Think about it,
right? Or Ochi's screwing with him, right? Like there's so much.
Honestly, like we could see Ochi.
There's a lot going on.
Some bounty hunter action going on in here.
Well, and I think that the more that the Bad Batch becomes a nuisance to the Empire, the more we're going to see these higher, this higher quality of bounty hunter, potentially even a young Boba Fett getting called, because Cad had mentioned that during the Boba Fett show that, he worked for the Empire, that he was friendly with the Empire back then. So it might be a first appearance of Boba in a suit. Technically he's probably not big enough, but I'd like to see him in at least the helmet on a consistent basis. Maybe hunting the Bad Batch would be an interesting way to integrate him into the show.
Yeah. Have you guys seen all the tweets today from the Kiners and Jen Corbett?
No.
About what?
About the Bad Batch. I've been on a whole Twitter kick lately because it's a fun time to be a Star Wars fan. So, I'm talking a lot on Twitter. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on in the fandom. It's a fun time. But
just to put it into perspective, what's happening right now, what is trending on my feed right now, is Grogu, Mandalorian, Anakin.
That makes sense because there's a whole bunch of articles from Empire that came out. I didn't even know how many there were until I started streaming yesterday. But yeah, basically, there's this thing. The first thing with Grogu, everybody's tripping out over the fact that Grogu went back to Din early, and everybody has their own feelings on Twitter right now about that. The other thing, is
people have their own feelings on Twitter about things.
Still, hold on, still.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Hawks. Like, still, y'all are tripping. Like,
this conversation
Boba was over a year ago.
Yeah, I'm ready to have it again.
Wow.
So people are still tripping on that. So I'm probably going on a rant later tonight about it to put y'all in your place because Star Wars fans gotta chill sometimes.
Well, but that's it. Star Wars fans don't have a chill, right? It's. I feel like this is probably one of the more non-controversial, non-in-your-face, believe what I want or get the fuck out kind of streams, right? I mean, I don't feel like I feel like there's a lot of other channels really dogging Star Wars right now, right? I mean, a lot of nerdy content out there are dogging Star Wars right now, and that's cool. I mean, dog it all you want. It's always been kind of shit on, to be honest, right? There's always been this.
Oh yeah, I saw an article that I think even Pablo Hidalgo on Twitter the other day was like, "Look, even back in the 1980s, people were saying the fandom was broken or whatever." It's like,
Oh,
well, I guess it's always
Oh
been
yeah,
broken.
people hated what was it? People like didn't like the second film when it came out.
Not
Or
at
maybe
all.
even maybe even the first one. Like no one knew what the hell the point of the movie was.
Well, the first one came off and got a lot of, kind of struck this spark, right? Sparked this interest in the content. The second one, they didn't like Yoda, right? They didn't like Yoda when he first came out. They thought the puppet was stupid. There was all kinds of division back then, and this is in the 70s. This is before Jedi came out.
Bro, I believe it because I just watched it for the first time with my wife ever watching the original trilogy, and she's like, "That guy's a fucking creep." I'm like, having it.
That was the consensus, right? Is that Yoda was weird, right? Because all of these other characters are fine, but this little dude that talks different and lives in a swamp, it's too much, right? And that's how it was back in the day. I grew up loving Star Wars. I didn't know that there was this kind of disagreement, because in my house there were a lot of us and we all liked Star Wars and nobody really said negative things, right? So I didn't hear it until the prequels is when I really discovered, and that's when when episode 1 came out, I was graduating high school, right? So when Phantom Menace came out, I was graduating high school. And that was an amazing movie as a teenager to watch a new, and I didn't really get it at first. I had to watch it a couple times. I'm like, but the ships, wait a minute, this is older. Why do the ships look new? Why do the ships look newer? Why does it look more futuristic than okay, because the movies that I saw in the day were from like a repressed nation. Oh, okay, I got it. So I didn't really put the two together until I really started thinking about it, and then that's when episode 2 comes out, episode 3 comes out, and we stood in line for episode 2 and 3. Like when you had to stand in line before you could buy tickets online, before there was Ticketmaster apps and movie theater apps, we stood in line forever for those movies. I mean, one person camped out for tickets and we made sure that person was fed while he was standing in line for us. Like somebody would check on him every couple hours. Hey, anybody checked on John in a while? No. All right, I'm gonna grab a burrito and a Coke and maybe stand in line for him so he can go pee. But yeah, that's what you did, right? Like that dude literally camped out like in a sleeping bag on the floor in front of the theater for tickets. And you could only buy so many, right? Like you could only buy like 6 or 8 back then. So it was a thing to get to go see those in the theater. But then you come out of the movies and there's so much hate, right? And then you get to the sequels and it's the same song and dance. Some people like it, some people hate it. It's just,
well, back in the day, it was
funny.
like it became a cult classic kind of thing. And I feel like that's why the fandom's so passionate now, because those people were so passionate then. And it's like their kids, like a lot of their kids fell in love with the prequels. There were prequel hate, but a lot of the people who are original trilogies fan, like that love carried through the prequels. Now it's just like so different. People of my generation who were the prequel lovers are now like a lot of them just straight up turning their back on Star Wars. And I think it's kind of crazy because of how drastically different the prequels were from the originals. I feel like it's just as drastic now. I mean, it is Star Wars after all. I mean,
100%. And it's funny how that kind of happens, because as a kid, I was born in the year Phantom Menace came out. Not to make anybody feel old, but I was born the year Phantom Menace came out. I grew grew up with the prequels, and I didn't know there was all this, hate for it at the time. I just grew up and was like, these movies are badass, you know what I mean? And then I started to get into the Clone Wars as a little kid. I even saw the Clone Wars movie in theaters, and I remember, being so excited. There's this Clone Wars show coming out, and as I watched the Clone Wars show, life went on. I got a little older, high school and everything, and I wouldn't be able to consistently watch because it was like once every week on Friday night, and you miss a couple episodes, it's hard to follow up and catch up to stuff you missed. But as I got in, through high school, I started following all these Star Wars pages and all these things, and the hate for Ahsoka, I didn't even know that was a thing, and it was like, wow.
Yeah.
People didn't like the prequels and they hate Ahsoka. Like, what is this? And then, we get to the sequel trilogy and it's the same bullshit all over. It's like, dude, it's like a cycle. You know what I mean? Even today, Star Wars Meg had an interview with Paul. I'm going to butcher his last name, so I'm not even going to attempt it. He plays Carson Teva, though, in The Mandalorian. And love that guy. He's freaking awesome. And he talks about how basically he grew up with the original trilogy with his sister, and they went and saw Empire Strikes Back with their nanny, or and he talked about how he got to the age where he was basically getting married during the prequels, and he took his kids to go see the sequels. And that's the cool thing, is like it is a cycle with hatred sometimes, but there is the cycle of your parents took you to see these Star Wars movies. You end up taking your kids. It becomes a family love affair in a way, which I think is the beauty of it. Even with all the hatred and different things, like that's why as a little kid, you don't see all that stuff,
Well, but this is what I'm saying, is that people didn't like the prequels. When they came out, people did. It was not popular the way that it is now. Right. And maybe the media had more control over the narrative because social media wasn't a thing. They were just covering it on the news. You're just getting, this was before Rotten Tomatoes. You're getting Siskel and Ebert's thumbs, and that's really where your information came from was from the critics. And, fast forward to now where everybody has a voice, where every paper is online. So everything goes up extremely fast. You don't have to wait the next day for the reviews. It's very different than it was then. But yeah, I mean, the hate was there. People hated Jar Jar. People hated a lot of things about the prequels. Then you get to the animated stuff. Everybody hates Ahsoka. Now she's the most loved. So it's this cycle of hate. This cycle of hate, then get over themselves, then love it, is basically how it's become. It's easy to hate it at first because why not? And then as the character grows, but that's just it. That's what Star Wars is. Star Wars is character development. That's the storytelling that goes into Star Wars. So yeah, people don't like Omega because she's an annoying little kid. Well, as you watch the growth and the development, that changes. Same thing with Ahsoka. Everybody hated her.
She's a kid who literally knows nothing about anything. She's been stuck inside a building, the same building her entire life, bro. Shit. You don't know shit about shit.
You don't know shit about shit. You're a kid. You're an idiot. You think you know everything, right? Yeah. All kids, us, them, you, all of us were dumb kids one time. And yeah,
that lady told her that the mountain reclaimed the compass. She was like, it reclaimed it,
right?
You've never heard that word before.
She doesn't understand things. She's a kid. She's a sheltered kid, right? That lived a rich girl sheltered life, right? Never worried.
Talking about this cycle got me. I was about to put out this video on the Bad Batch 7 and 8, and the whole theme of it was going to be like, everybody constantly rips on Star Wars because they want politics out of Star Wars, and the best 2 episodes of the Bad Batch were all about politics in Star Wars. I had all these examples, right? I never made it, so it's like I literally this is my script right here. Think about it. I mean, really take this time to stop yelling, "Leave your fucking politics out of my Star Wars," and think about it. We traveled back to the Senate and met up with some familiar galactic politicians. The theme of both episodes was clones' right, and essentially an age-old tale of taxation without representation. Senator Chuchi's main objective, aside from proving Rampart to have committed mass genocide was to secure a pension plan for the soon-to-be retired clones. She was fighting for labor rights, and then old Sheev flipped the script on everyone. That's where I ended.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my whole rant I was going through in the video, and it was like,
That's
That's
fantastic.
it.
Johnny,
Hell yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. But here's the thing. Look, and this is where I get frustrated with the fandom, right? So yes, we have all these shows that we're blessed to even have. Number one, right? They could have gone on hiatus until it was time to start doing movies again, right? And let the fandom cool out. But no, they decided we're going to press on and we're going to keep making this stuff. So, but for me, I don't really care if there's, you know, I mean, I'm gonna say it. I don't care if there's a drag show at Celebration. If you don't want your kids to see it, go to another panel, right? If you see some person in drag and your kid says, "What's going on there?" Well, then that's a different conversation you might want to have. Maybe your kid's old enough to have that conversation, but you don't have the right to shut people out. This is an inclusive. This is what I appreciate about Lucasfilm in general, not necessarily Disney. Is Star Wars is for everyone. That's what they've constantly said. There shouldn't be this gatekeeping going on. Whether it's, you know, the 3 million subscriber YouTuber that gets to gatekeep who's popular in the space, or you know, the
raging sequel fan with less than 300
Right.
who can't stand these goddamn haters.
right. What it doesn't matter what end of the spectrum you're on.
no,
It's
that's
for
perfectly allowed to hate the sequel.
It's for everybody. Like it, hate it, trash it, do whatever
No.
you want, really. But
It is.
ultimately, you're not doing yourself. I feel like you're not doing Star Wars a service, Lucasfilm a service, because your negativity isn't getting anywhere, right? Like you're not changing what they're doing over there. I hate to bust bubbles. I hate to speak a little bit of truth. But yeah, they may be, somebody in their organization may be watching all of this Star Wars content, and that may be their job to report up how the social media space feels. But they're not changing their scripts because you trashed them in a video, right? The like I said, the most popular Star Wars YouTuber in the world has 3 million subscribers. He doesn't get 3 million views on every one of his videos. Right? I mean, that's not really how it works. So, yes, they may take some story ideas from all these books, and maybe fans, you know, have an idea here that they pluck out of obscurity. But really, I mean, we all think we're better storytellers than these guys, but none of us have done shit.
That's not true. Obsession has crafted a perfect Obi-Wan season 2 idea, and I want that to come to life so much. I'm going to keep bringing it up.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, I am honestly, Dan has me very motivated. I'm in talks with some choreographers, so I think we're going to go screen test some stuff that I might even post for you guys. Just some saber fights in the desert under a new moon, long lens, 2 sabers fighting in the desert in the middle of the night, a red and a blue one, just to screen test to see how it'll look. But yeah, we might go out there now that it's starting to warm up a little bit down here in the Southwest. Once it gets nicer and I don't feel like I'm going to lose a digit out there in the cold, then we're going to get out there. But yeah, I am in talks with some choreographers, some professional battle swordsmen, and we're going to do some shit. We're going to do it.
Hey, listen, that's awesome. I really want to see this get made by Lucasfilm. I got an idea. I got some ideas. I think we're going about this the wrong way.
That's the first step.
Lucasfilm doesn't care for what you say, right?
Correct.
But you know who does really want to come back and be in Star Wars and might get them to listen to him? He can pitch that. And who cares who gets the credit? I want this story.
Well, and that's the thing. Look, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a shameless. Look, I'm going to say a word here that I don't usually use. So
People don't even know what we're talking about right now. By the way.
I'm a shameless Twitter whore. Okay, I will tweet any of these celebrities and say, "Please come on my stream." I am shameless with it. Nobody's written back, but I am shameless with
I'm
it.
telling you, if you can get like Kit Harington pitched this idea for his sequel for Game of Thrones. If Samuel L. Jackson doesn't just say like, "We know Jedi's gonna live through," no, have him equipped with that story. It's over. That he's got to come back.
Look,
That's it.
I'm gonna tweet. Here's what I'll do.
You know,
I'm gonna-
people.
Listen,
I
some
know
kid
you know
tweeted The Rock every single day until he retweeted him, and it only took 250 something days.
Perfect.
I'm telling you.
Perfect. We won't.
That's
even,
a true story.
That's awesome.
But yeah, no,
Samuel
I
Jackson,
will
that's
tweet
pitch idea.
Samuel L. Jackson every single
I'm
day,
telling you, dude. I love that story so much.
and I will make a video telling my exact story, and then I will post that to Samuel L. Jackson every single day. I will message him with it, and I will put it on his tweet and put his name on the tweet, and we will try to get him to get George to call Dave and be like, "Yo, I want my motherfucking Mace Windu back on this motherfucking screen, fighting motherfucking Kenobi." Right?
Think about how much that saves Kenobi too.
Dude.
Like all the shit we're talking about him after this last series. But no, hold on. Right before Kenobi came to just wax Maul, he was just getting done waxing Mace. Like he was,
or just after, right? I kind of like it just after because I want him to bury Mace next to Maul. Like I want him because I want to see Mace's grave right next to Maul's grave with their sabers in the ground as their headstones. No headstones, no names, just their sabers as the headstones right outside his hut. Like I don't want it to be far away. I want it to be close because I want Kenobi to go and sit by the fire, talk to Qui-Gon and say, "How many times do I have to have the same fight? How many times do we have to have the same conversation?" Right?
So what you're saying is Mace Windu lives?
Yeah, I'm saying Mace is alive. Everybody wants this Mace and Boba arc to
Does he
finish.
outlive
right?
Obi-Wan Kenobi?
no,
Mace.
What'd you miss?
Mace does not outlive Kenobi. Mace dies at Kenobi's hand.
Well, but I'm
Yes.
saying like, yeah.
I'm saying
he's not going to leave the sabers on the sand.
Yeah,
That's the only thing I would change.
Kind of like he buried them
I
with.
would change that.
Kind of like he buried his and Anakin's in the desert. Kind of something similar to that. Put him in a box and bury him with the guys.
How many lights? I'm sick and tired of these motherfucking
That's
lightsabers
it.
buried on this motherfucking planet.
That's it. Yes,
We're gonna have like 4 total after this.
Well, but that's what brings that's what also sparks the Kyber on Tatooine.
And then he sends a postcard of Mace's grave to Boba. He's like, "I got him first, bitch."
Took care of
You're welcome.
Took care of your problem. It'd be like one of those Jimmy Fallon's, like the response letters, like, "Dear Boba, I took care of your outstanding problem. No need to bother anybody now. Best love, Kenobi."
No, with respect.
With
Kenobi.
respect.
With respect. That's how we do it.
Yeah,
It's how we cover all these holes in the continuity right now.
Oh, look, man, I'm still on that camp that Boba killed Lars and Owen and Beru. I'm still on that camp that Boba killed
No
Aunt
disintegration.
and uncle. Like no disintegrations was a reason. Like, bro, you killed my half brother with disintegration. Thanks, but no more disintegration. Right?
I don't know about all that, but the Mace thing is like headcanon for me at this point. Like I don't see.
I mean,
nothing cooler than that.
I would love to see Mace. I would love to see Mace and I'm sorry. I'd love to see Samuel and Ewan on screen together in that
Once more.
in that form, right? Not buddies, not counselors, but enemies.
The part that really gets me too is like everybody talking about Mace coming back. I'm always thinking about like, all right, how does he just go dark side so quick? But when you're like, you put it in your mind, it's like, all right, he finds Kenobi. He goes to like, just they comes friendly, and he's like, oh, I gotta go watch on Anakin's boy. He's like, you kept that motherfucker's kid alive,
Right?
And then he just loses it right after that. Oh my god.
Yeah, I feel like it's we've seen it a bunch, right? Just because you get tossed out a window doesn't mean I mean, Anakin jumps out of a perfectly good speeder, right, and lands on somebody's car. We see that a lot where the Sith use that a lot. We saw Maul use it when he was fighting Palps. We see that a lot where large distance falls don't usually kill Jedi or Sith. So yeah, he lost an arm, and he's a little less powerful. And I think that's part of why Kenobi can best him. Not only can he not use Vapod because he's not fighting a dark side user, so he doesn't get that chip advantage. But then he's also lost a limb, so his metachlorine count is lower than what it was when he was in the Jedi Order. So he's actually weaker, even though he's feels more powerful, because the dark side makes you feel good. It's like an ugly chick, like your boyfriend's like, you're so beautiful, right? It's like the dark side makes you feel more powerful, but you're not, right? So he's probably like 90% what he was, because he lost an arm. So yeah, I would feel like, he's not as powerful. Kenobi's in his prime, right? All he's doing is meditating.
This way, man. Like I'm in love with this story.
I think the part that people forget, and this is something that I really enjoyed about the Kenobi show, is showing younger Kenobi, midlife Kenobi, seeing Qui-Gon in the desert and them having this journey together until A New Hope. How fitting. Here's something that people don't take into consideration. How did Kenobi best Maul? He was old. He probably hadn't used a saber in many years in true combat. How did he best somebody as powerful as Maul at the time? Because Maul was like in his heyday, right? He had just taken on Ahsoka. Yeah, he got beat because she's badass, but he fought Palpatine. Yeah, he lost. But really, Maul was in prime shape to beat that Kenobi ass. How did Kenobi win?
Just got the juice now.
Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan having a conversation in the desert over a campfire year after year after year about how he lost to Maul. Right? Qui-Gon knows where he fucked up.
That would be cool.
I didn't do this. Look how fast Obi-Wan reacted when he saw what Maul was going to do. Right? He was almost like a snake charmer.
No, yeah,
right?
he at first does the one,
right,
does his OG kind of form, then he goes to Qui-Gon's, and then Maul sees Qui-Gon's and goes, "Ooh, I know how to beat this," and then Obi-Wan's like, "Gotcha."
Right, but I mean, look at I've broken down the footage, and I've watched the Qui-Gon fight, and I've watched the Obi-Wan fight. That was brilliant writing in Rebels. Right, it was a 3-move combination, and it was over. It was like chess. Check, mate. Okay, we're done. Have a good night. I'm going to bed. Right, it was masterful. How did he do that? He was an old man, because Qui-Gon had told him how he messed up, and maybe they went over that often. Right, because that's something that Obi-Wan lives with in his head, is watching that in his memory behind that ray shield. Trapped and hopeless. I can't help my master. I watched him get messed up. That's something you would talk about with a Force ghost over a campfire. This has been messing me up for a long time. I had to watch this. Well, you should learn how to counter it. If you encounter Maul again, you might want to know how to do this.
Yeah, but let's be real. Obi-Wan already took him with the low ground. So, like, it wasn't like he didn't already know how to kill him.
Yeah, I think it's just such great writing by Dave and his team. And this leads us to here, right? The writing that's going on in Bad Batch. This isn't a useless throwaway show. Everybody feels like this is like, oh, it's just a dumb show. I don't have to watch it. I think this is going to mean more in the end than people really give it credit for.
Yeah. Blowing my mind here, my man.
Now that I totally took everything off the rail.
I mean, really, I think
No,
Dave is building a world right now, a universe, and has to rebuild some stuff. And the Bad Batch is giving us all these little answers, just like Tails. Tails filled in the Dooku arc, right? Gave us some of that Ahsoka arc we're going to need going in future. This is going to be equally as pertinent going into the future of the Filoniverse.
I thought there was going to be a message to you, Obsession. Man, this thing really is the Wild Wild West.
Yeah, not that bad. Way to let you know. But yeah, I mean, it feels like this is 100%, 100% not filler. Like, this isn't a filler show. I don't feel like they'd waste all this time and money on a filler show.
I mean, it is, somewhat geared towards kids, so there are the fun episodes, but it is animation. That's kind of been in Clone Wars and Rebels and any kind of Star Wars. Really, there's always some kind of more fun stuff that's geared towards kids. It's
Yeah,
it's for
YouTubers,
everybody.
you remember fun?
Yeah, I know, right?
Right.
Speaking of Mace, though, during my watch party last week, watching Palpatine and everything, I thought of you so much, Obsession, because it was just we call Mace here a bus driving bitch.
He is a bus driving bitch, man.
Because he ran right
over
over
that, but he a bus driving bitch.
I've never seen Palpatine channel his inner Mace so much in this last episode, driving straight over Rampart. He made sure to put that thing in reverse.
Yeah, he hit him with
drive back over him 3, 4, 5 times. It was like, whoa, this man is the biggest bus driver I've ever seen.
Yeah. And that's just it. Like, this last episode, man, everybody's like, ooh, they finally got him. And it's just a masterful stroke of genius, right?
I think that was planned out from the beginning, bringing Rampart in.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Like, for one, like, his power, like Palpatine's, is, like, predicting the future for the most part, right? So, like, he can vaguely see where this road is going down, that Rampart wants to do the conscription forces. So he just kind of lets him do it, be the scapegoat, because inevitably the Senate's going to push back. And it's like, all right, well, it's not me pushing for it. It's this douche. Let him hang himself, and then I'll just come in and save the day.
Well, and that's what I mean. That's it. It didn't matter whether they got that flight data or not. It didn't matter if they got that recorder with all that carnage on it or not. Either way, he was going to get what he wanted. Whether they succeeded and got the footage and showed the Senate, or whether Rampart got what he wanted by political means, they were going to get what they want, one way or another. And so, I just feel like this show is definitely, it's definitely hitting on, for me, on the notes that I need, right? Omega aside, right? Her journey is ultimately what this is about. But I'm eager to see where this finishes out, right? And I've been saying it for a couple of weeks now. If this is the story of how Grogu gets away, I'm in it. I'm down for it, right? If that's the last frame that we see in Bad Batch, is Sid walking into that stronghold and dropping off Grogu with a stack of credits, that for me will make Bad Batch have been completely worth it, no matter what.
So since we're back on the Bad Batch,
I
want to pull. Ooh, so who's dying tonight? Yeah, so I guess this is why we should pull it. Why I should pull this up right now. Hopefully I can. Here it is.
I think
Boom.
You
guys can see that, right?
Hey,
So the Kiner brothers put this
delay,
up.
but yeah, you got it.
You could see it
saw it.
says
What did they
redacted.
redact?
There's words underneath the redacted. I don't know what it says, but it looks like an R to me at the end.
What?
Like you can. They said something last season where they did something like this, but to me, I'm really worried that this Simba here about to get trampled by a stampede with TNT on his back.
What is happening?
That might be Wrecker because the R is at the end, and I'm terrified. If something happens to Wrecker, I'm gonna wreck somebody tonight. Please don't hurt Wrecker.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, nobody yet. Hunter.
Oh, Hunter does start with an R or end with an R too. So there you go.
look,
Maybe
we
it's
got
Hunter.
Hunter.
or Wrecker.
The only two that are safe are Tech and Omega. Those are the only two that are safe this episode, Tech and Omega.
Did this amount to
And then-
something last time they did it?
But the other thing is, I will say, Jen Corbett tweeted this a little bit before it, so maybe it'll be an okay episode. Maybe we'll be all right. She says, if you're still recovering from the last episode of the Bad Batch, this week's journey may be just what you need. What do you guys think in the chat, and what do you guys think, panel? Because I'm worried.
Wow.
I mean, if I feel like the last episode, the Bad Batch didn't have anywhere to go, right? They lost a member, so now they're down to 4. Well, 3.5 if you want to count Omega as a half, right? Because she's kind of short. So they're down to 3.5. I could see this episode being about Rex. I could see them pulling a Boba Fett on this one. I could see them going completely off with Rex and Echo and the sisters, right? Now that we officially know I was right, now that we officially know what Ahsoka did and putting Rex and the sisters together. So now that we know that arc is what happened, now it seems like would be a great episode to get into saving Wolf, maybe seeing Echo.
What's the title?
Crossroads, or
The Crossing.
The Crossing.
I've been
Thank
staring
you.
at
Sorry.
Star Wars Santa predictions for the last hour, and I can't decide what to do at all.
Oh, you're on the prediction game, huh?
Me and Sheev are leading it right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's up by 1. Sheev's the
represent.
leader. I'm right behind him.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we're both stressing over our predictions tonight. That's for sure.
Really ain't no good. I don't know.
Bro, easy prediction.
This is worse than the fantasy foosball, right? Like this is fantasy Star Wars right now, right? So this is worse than the fantasy foosball.
What makes it worse is I've never completed a full season without forgetting to do it. So he literally Santa reminds me every Tuesday. Like in the stream.
Both of us historically have done excellent throughout the entire thing, but we also both have missed like at least one, like literally every single time that he's done them, I've missed one time, one show. That's it, one show, and both of us have done that, and now we haven't missed any, and we're both number 1 and 2.
This is what happens though. We usually are, and then we get to like 3 weeks out and we miss one. It's like, all right, it's over. It's just like, I'm done. He's not. He
But
thinks
yeah.
it's just me. He's not even calling you out on it every stream.
No, it's hilarious. I do it like 90% of the time. That's the thing. It's literally I miss it one time and Santa doesn't notice somehow. It's like, thank you.
That's
But
funny.
we do have the crossing tonight, and I also am curious if maybe the crossing could be a reference to Crosshair. You know,
Oh, yes.
we haven't seen him in a while, so I would love to get some more Crosshair at
Okay,
some point this season.
I'm gonna put out a wild take. What if this episode is about the not so much about Crosshair, but about I lost it. I had a good thought and it just fallen in the wind. Like a spell.
Well, I was gonna say like crossing sides or switching sides. I don't know.
I was
going
gonna
to
say, what if this is a fun wordplay on the path?
Ooh,
I like
that'd be
that.
cool.
Right. What if it's the crossing is just a fun wordplay on like we get to see the starting of the path or something like that. Rex is
Or I feel like it'll be like the point of no return. Like you're crossing that border, you're crossing that line, or you're crossing that. You're all in now, or
I gotta
hopefully
show you
we'll
guys
get
this.
some.
Or actually, that's not a different subject. Anyway, nah, my bad. I'm thinking out loud.
I just started to think about it because I just threw into the chat. This week's episode is crossing. Next week's is retrieval. I didn't think that maybe we'd see Cody just because, they haven't really been focused on it, but it is up in the air. Where the hell is Cody? We're getting to starting the second half of the season. What if the crossing tonight is Cody trying to cross or, cross out of the Empire? I don't know. Just trying to crossing somehow,
and then
trying to get away, and retrieval next week.
After that.
Well, I gotta look, but
Yeah.
having retrieval be next week, maybe 2-part kind of episodes here, where this week is kind of Cody's journey trying to cross his way out of the Empire, and next week he gets retrieved by the Bad Batch or potentially Rex and Echo or whoever.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely seems like they have no problem doing side quests, right? They have no problem doing a Mando Grogu episode in the middle of a Boba Fett story that could have easily been done at the beginning of Mando, right? Season 2. So it seems like they don't have any problem with this, telling a story within a story, getting us ready for the next thing. So I just feel like this could, being the way we ended the last episode, this feels like it could be the crossing of the line, like you said, where Rex and the gang go from just being on the sideline and rescuing their buddies to being more offensive. Right. That's why I think that there could be a clone jail. Right. That they could be they could be going to rescue all the clones and starting the plan for that. And maybe Echo is the information. So him crossing the line leads to the retrieval of the clones that are being held in prison. Right? Go ahead.
I think the idea maybe just sparked on me on what this episode really is about. There's been kind of I don't know if it's actually a leak, because honestly I haven't seen any real legitimate Bad Batch leaks from my perspective. Like, I'm not really looking per se, but when it comes to leaks in animation, it is a lot more difficult because there's less people working on the stuff, and
Right.
it's harder for animation to leak. But people have been talking about on Twitter about a potential leak, I guess, where at some point, and I mean, it's not even really a leak, it's more just fan speculation. I think the fact that at some point Sid is likely going to betray the Bad Batch. Like, that's kind of the way it's been seen. So what if crossing tonight is Sid crossing the line and crossing the Bad Batch, like, and that it's kind of the final like break off where they're not going to be working with her anymore.
I mean, it could for sure. I mean, and I agree. The thing about animation is there's only so many animators in the studio, right? There's only so many people working on that. It's not like a set where you're doing live action where there's 100 crew.
Think about what just happened last episode, right? Like, how could she betray them? It's got to have something to do with Omega, probably, right? Who just found out about Omega last episode? That former senator just learned that of her existence. She was a clone, and she was
Kaminoan?
like, "Ooh."
No, well, the Kaminoan, yeah, and the blue senator.
Oh, Chuchi.
Yeah, but Chuchi ain't selling her out. But the Kaminoan, what's she doing right now?
Well, and the fact
not
that
wrong.
she came in and was like, "I'm a representative of no place. My people are dead." Right?
I'm broke.
Wouldn't it be ironic to see her on Mount Tantus playing both sides, right? So the crossing could lead us to Mount Tantus, right? And that's
I'm never gonna figure out what to put for these stupid ass positions.
I'm starting to think it's the Sid thing. I really am. I'm starting to think that Sid's going to cross him, and then that would be awesome for that to kind of happen, the kickoff of the second half of the season, and them not really be doing any more side quests with her. And, the rest of it can be...
that would just further our theory that Trandoshans are inherently bad.
Oh, Trandoshans are the
Trandoshans
worst.
just suck. Yeah.
They really do.
So,
What's wrong with those guys?
I mean, hey, never,
I don't know if there's been a good Trandoshan, really. Like,
come on, there had to
thinking
be a
about it.
Jedi Trandoshan somewhere in there.
Oh, in the High Republic, I think.
There had to be one somewhere before.
Yeah, but even he gets messed up. He was like the first one they show that gets messed up.
Wow. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and it seems like Twitter is all over Star Wars right now, right? Like, if Star Wars, so here's my thing. Here's my argument.
What is there to be all over? Just the Bad Batch?
Oh, Mando comes out in 15 days.
They just dropped a new Mando trailer at the Super Bowl. Yeah,
People are mad about it. I'm confused.
No, I mean,
no.
Okay.
There's excitement.
Say all
actually.
over to me. That's like
there's here's the thing, and this is
not
what
my Star Wars.
This is what I was going to get to, is that if Star Wars is dead, then why are 3 things that are trending right now for Star Wars on Twitter trending? Right? If because that's all I hear from a lot of the haters.
Tell you why.
Right? That's all I hear from a lot of the haters, is that, oh, Star Wars is here. I'm going to do it.
Star Wars is dead, guys. It's just dead. It's not the same anymore. It's just dead.
Right? So
Someone has to clip that and send it to me, please. I have use for these clips now, so if anyone's willing.
but look, I mean, it definitely is not dead if there's 3 separate items on the top 15 of trending are related to Star Wars. I'm sorry. It's not as dead as you guys want to play it.
Well, Obsession. I don't know if you're aware, but the MCU and DC Comics also dead, bro. They're all dead, bro.
Marvel's in trouble, bro. From
I
what
don't
I'm
know if you
hearing
knew
about,
that or not.
from what I'm hearing about Quantumania, Marvel is in serious trouble. Right. So
Yeah.
apparently the reviews
Yeah.
came out and they are very bad
Mixed.
for Quantumania. I've been saying it for a while. I think King Feige's on his way out. I think Feige
I mean,
has
he's got a Star Wars movie to do. So of
no,
course.
dude, keep that guy out of Star Wars. He can't even make good Marvel movies anymore. Right? He can't even make good Marvel content anymore. Keep him away. He needs to go to DC and maybe try to revive them.
The reviews are mixed at best. Keep your panties out of a bunch.
I just think
Yeah,
that,
mixed.
that if Star Wars is dead, Marvel's dead too. Because Marvel had an awful phase 4.
No, I mean that's facts.
Marvel had an
compared to the
I
rest
don't
of
think a lot
the
of people
phases.
disagree.
I
So-
liked Phase 4. This is Star Wars, so we won't get too deep into it. But
See, this is what happens after you make 30 movies. Eventually, you have to do a rebuild year, and that's kind of the phase they're in. And
yeah,
so
dude,
Yeah.
I know
when it comes to
all about it,
Marvel,
it's
that
too
stuff
late
annoys
here,
me
too.
because Phase 1. It's like doing Phase 1 all over again. Like you're starting
Exactly.
from the freaking beginning.
Yeah.
So it
is literally phase 1 television. It's
so
literally
yes,
phase 1
to
television.
your point, Obsession. If people think Star Wars is dead, then yeah, Marvel's dead too. Because the thing is,
And
y'all
DC's
gotta be
phase
patient.
1, all that shit's dead too.
Yeah, no, DC's
Everyone's in
dead.
phase 1 and nobody cares anymore. Can we get to phase 4 already, please?
Well, that's just it. I mean, I feel like this is, for Star
Yeah.
Wars, this is still their phase 1, so to speak.
Yes.
Right? This is still
They're
figuring
building
it
their
out.
new shit.
They're not going, and yeah, we could talk a little bit about this tonight about, I know how many panties are twisted about Rey and
All
Grogu
the panties.
potentially being meeting up in the sequels, right? That's going to be potentially a thing, is that Rey and Grogu are going to meet up down the road. So guess what? Spoiler alert, everybody. Grogu lives.
Bro, spoiler alert, for another 850 plus years probably. Like he gonna be around for a while. He's gonna meet a lot of people.
So apparently him and Rey are going to, apparently that's the sequel story arc that has been leaked or whatever, is that Grogu and Rey are going to be in cahoots down the road.
I don't care as long as the story doesn't suck this time.
Well, I do feel like I feel like they learned a lesson, and this is kind of a good segue into
What
that.
proof do
It
you
was
have?
1
this?
year, bro. It was 1 year, okay?
It feels like Lucasfilm learned a lesson, right? It feels like the sequels were a fucking mess.
But they
I'm
made
The
not
money.
talking-
fandom was like put your hand out. Put your hand out.
Yeah, it was not well done, and the fact that there are articles and conversations about how you didn't know what was going to go on, that's bad storytelling, right? So
Somehow
Grogu together.
survived.
What did I just read in the chat? I'm about to hurl.
I could Grogu together.
No.
Which one?
Too soon,
This
Daniel
one.
Fisher.
Gray.
Wait. No. This one. No.
Great shit is real.
The Gray ship is
Grogu and Rey?
The
No.
Gray is, that's awesome. That's hilarious. I like that way better than Luke Soka.
Me too.
But look, it's the fandom is on fire. I have seen so many YouTubers, so many TikToks, so much stuff about how this next, this story that Rey and Grogu are going to be buddies in the future. That's so far down the road. They have so much to do before we even get anywhere close to that. That is a good 5 years away. I feel like the fandom can't just can't just focus on the now. Like, why
That's
can't
what
they?
I'm saying, man.
Why can't you
Yeah,
just
can we
focus
can we
on
hype
the
up
now?
Mandalorians, like the Mandalorian faction rebuilding
It's-
itself?
It's
Can we just-
focusing on the now and also patience. We don't. Nobody in this damn fandom has patience. It feels. I mean, the people in our community, you guys definitely do. You know what I mean? But outside of our community, it feels like these people just have no patience. They don't have any love for long form storytelling. Everybody's just, I want it. I wish I could do your thing. I want it now.
I want it right now. I'm not gonna wait.
It's like, dude,
It's my
that's
Star
not how
Wars
it
and I want
works.
it now.
That's not how it works, especially in this
My
era.
Star Wars, and I want it now, and I want it my way.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just
That's it.
And look, man, I mean, Star Wars. Take out of it what you want. Hate on it if you really must. If it really hurts you that much that you have to hate on it, cool. But for me, the more you hate on something, you're not changing their mind. Number one, you're not changing production's mind on what they're doing for stories. You're not changing directors' minds on what they do for story. What you're doing by being that negative is ultimately giving Lucasfilm a reason not to do it anymore. Great. Hilarious. Oh my god. But it's
All right, there we go.
he's dying over there. I love it.
All right.
Who did that so quick? That was fast as hell.
Oh, you didn't know we did it.
That's the
That
thing
was
about here
great.
is you can't. It's the Wild West on this streaming platform. It literally anybody does anything they want. It's just out of control. It's the Wild West. So where are we going anywhere? Are we just going back to Sid's bar and she's gonna set him up? I mean, what are we doing? Are we heading to a known planet or are we going on another unknown mission here?
First of all, would you be surprised to learn that I've been searching Simba memes since we looked at that?
No,
can't
that doesn't surprise me at all.
Can't find any correlation between the Kiner brothers. One.
No, they made that themselves. They did.
Yeah,
They did the same thing last season with the you know the girl that's like smiling and the fire's in the background. Last season they did that, and I don't remember what it was now. I want to go back and try to remember.
Somebody said in that Twitter thread that they did another one today too.
They tweeted a couple things today for sure.
And this is who?
The Kiner brothers.
Creators.
Yes.
Right.
The Kiners are known in Star Wars, for anybody that doesn't know, for doing all of the music for the animated series. They do a fantastic job. It started with the father. Can't remember his name now. That's terrible on me. But basically the father and now his two sons do most of the music for the Bad Batch, for the Rebels. They're friggin' awesome guys. Their music is fantastic. So shout out to the Kiners.
Let's call him Rob Kiner. Why not?
No. Kevin Kiner, I believe, is the father. Sean Kiner is one of the children. But yeah, they definitely like to have fun with the fandom. They're really cool dudes. They've teased a lot of stuff. Even back when Tales of the Jedi was just in production, they actually were the ones that kind of leaked that it was going to be a thing. That's how I found out about it before it was going to be. They talked about how they were working on this special project. So really cool dudes in the fandom. You guys should check them. Go check them out.
I will check them out. So, on another note, did you guys hear that Jon Favreau got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame today or yesterday?
I did.
No, that's cool.
I did.
Creator of Iron Man,
Creator of Iron Man, basically the father of modern day Marvel.
Heck, I talked about it yesterday because my homie Tim put it into the chat, and I mean, this dude literally did the jumpstart of Marvel and now the jumpstart of Disney Star Wars, if you want to call it. Like he's not only that, he's created one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time with Elf. He's puts himself in all of his movies and shows and things. The dude is just a legend. Jon Favreau is a legend.
He is, and really his only real L, as far as I could tell, is Book of Boba Fett. Right? I mean, in his arsenal of wins and losses, ultimately I call it an L.
You're gonna go down that path. People are gonna add a couple more L's to that list, bro.
I mean, really, I can't think of. I mean, he's the guy. He's the hold my beer guy, right? Oh, everybody told Jon Favreau you can't make a
Put
good
Boba
Christmas
Fett up
movie.
against a lot of Phase 4 Marvel, personally.
Oh, I mean, you put it up against She-Hulk, it looks like a shining star, right? Like you put it up against She-Hulk or Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it looks great. But you put it up against Loki, it looks kind of like a turd, right? I mean,
Oh, well,
What are
Loki,
we
yeah,
talking
for
about
sure.
right now?
you know,
What-
Boba Fett.
Book of Boba
Comparing
Fett.
Boba to like Phase 4.
right? And so, really, John's a hold my beer guy. I can't do it. You can't do a good Christmas movie. Okay, hold my beer. He makes Elf, right? Same thing with with a cooking show. You can't make a good cooking movie. No one will watch a movie about a chef. Okay, hold my beer. He goes and makes Chef, which is by far the best cooking movie I've ever seen. Same thing with Star Wars, or same thing with Marvel. They're like, oh, look at the Hulk. You can't make a good Marvel comic book movie. Cool, hold my beer. I'm gonna go make Iron Man with Robert Downey Jr. Right?
Yep.
Same thing with Mando. Right? They knew he could create a story. He just went too far. He just
Come on, man.
He had creative control, dude. He wrote it.
I'm not sitting here saying the
He
Book of
wrote
Boba
it.
Fett's my favorite show by any means.
I'm not
'cause it's
either.
definitely not. And I'm not saying it's perfect by any
And I'm
means.
not
But the
saying it's
hate
the
that it
worst.
gets
I'm not
triggers me. It triggers me. I'm gonna go on another rant today just because I've been on a thing. Like I feel like I've been like looking in, and I know you and me obsession are on this thing where Boba freaking found his following or found his like identity and family at the end of the season with
Right.
Din Djarin.
Right. I'm all
Yes.
about the storytelling that went
so,
on. I'm
The
with
thing
you.
I'm gonna just do my rant early. The thing that's been going around Twitter has to do with Jon Favreau and the Book of Boba Fett.
Right.
Everyone's freaking pissed. Still, over a year later,
Yeah.
that Grogu and freaking Din Djarin reunited in the Book of Boba Fett. Oh, they missed an opportunity for season 3. Sit your butt down right now and listen to me. Jon Favreau in season 1, before season 1, literally said this show is inspired by Paper Moon. If you guys don't know what Paper Moon is, I don't blame you. I didn't know what the frick Paper Moon is. It's a story about a little girl that freaking goes off with this, shady kind of guy.
Pause.
Same thing as
Pause.
pause.
Don't get
Same thing.
Don't get into vans with strangers. Continue.
Or do.
No, yeah, whatever. But basically, The Mandalorian follows the same exact story where Grogu goes along with the shady kind of character. Even though obviously, we didn't think Din Djarin was shady. We're like, oh, it's a badass Mandalorian. Like he's this kind of shady character. He's trying to figure out, what's right and wrong in the world still. That's kind of Din Djarin. He's still debating that in the beginning of the series. But anyway, basically, Paper Moon follows this little girl and the shady character going off on an adventure together. And at the end of the story, the guy brings the little girl back to her family. That's like the whole purpose of the story is he's trying to bring her back to his family. But when she gets to her family, just like when Grogu gets to Luke Skywalker, she realizes, doesn't even spend like a whole day with her family. She's like, screw this. I like the other dude better. And she goes back to the shady guy, and that's how the story ends. So people are tripping out that Grogu went right back to Din Djarin when everybody knew that was going to happen. Everyone, like even the people that are like, oh, we knew it was going to happen, but they missed an opportunity. I'm like, if you knew it was going to happen, why are you so upset that it happened earlier than you thought? Like, who cares? It happened earlier than you thought. And guess what? He did it in the Book of Boba for a reason. And that was always supposed to freaking happen.
Well, the way that they used it was good because it shows that, like I said, you needed this story to further along the Mandalorian story in general. Unfortunately, he handed the reins off to one person, right? And John is the executive in charge, and John is the writer. Ultimately, this falls on him.
I'm not saying I'm not saying that it's perfect. I'm saying he did it for a reason, and that reason
stuff is fine. But I'm talking about the rest of the stuff that didn't fit.
You're talking about the Book of Boba Fett, right?
But I'm talking about the stuff in the story that didn't work. There's stuff in there that didn't work that could have been done better. But ultimately, it's in the Star Wars universe. It's still an L.
No, I definitely hear what you're saying, and I know where a lot of these fans are coming from, and I'm sorry that I'm going so hard on this.
Go
And
hard in the
even
paint,
then, like,
dude. Go hard.
I'm
It's
definitely
playoff
going
season.
hard
Go
in the
hard in
paint.
the
I'm
paint.
backing down. I'm grabbing all these boards, but you got to understand, this was literally the plan from the get-go. From the get-go, people are trying to say, "Oh, they put Grogu in Book of Boba Fett for money, for merch." It's like,
No.
that's not why. That's not why he's in there. It was always supposed to be that. It was literally marketed as The Mandalorian season 2.5. Literally said that
Facts.
to us.
Facts.
And when did we find out about the Book of Boba Fett? At the end of The Mandalorian season 2. It was literally the post-credit scene. And people are like, "Oh, John just threw him in because the Disney execs told him to," or whatever. I'm like, shut your mouth.
Bro,
That's not what happened.
And Sheev, I'm gonna fire you up. When did they introduce Mando in the Book of Boba Fett? Around the exact same episode that they introduced Boba Fett in the Mandalorian show.
Right.
The exact same episode. I can't make this shit up.
Well, and
The other thing is, the story isn't even freaking finished yet. And people are like, "Oh, they missed an
So that's what I was gonna say
opportunity."
too. Like,
You
we
don't even know what it's going to lead to. We literally saw Din Djarin and Grogu blasting off at the end of freaking Book of Boba Fett, and we know that freaking Boba's going to be in it. Like,
So
he's going to Tatooine. Like,
Din Djarin's-
relax,
Din
patience.
Djarin's mission, right, is to return the foundling to his people. We don't even know if the Jedi are his goddamn people. Din Djarin might find his species, bro. We don't know.
well, but at the
We
same time,
don't know.
it's at this point, that's not I see. For me, that's not the part. The people who complain about Boba Fett say that's the best part of that season, right? And that's fair. That episode was pretty
I
awesome.
can tell this isn't over yet.
But
Keep going.
ultimately in Star Wars, it's out of the shows that they're making, it's still the L in the room, right? You need the story to get Boba on Team Din, right?
The thing I agree with is that putting Din Djarin in the story took away from Boba Fett in the Book of Boba Fett show. Sure. But again, to Hawk's point, Boba Fett did the same thing with The Mandalorian.
Correct.
Oh, and it's the exact same episode.
The other thing that people like, I understand what you're saying, Obsession, that it low-key was an L amongst the fandom. And you're saying that things were not done right or properly or something?
No, I'm just saying that this is the complaint of the fandom, not me.
Right? So again,
the
fandom is saying things were not done properly or Boba's character was not handled properly. You clearly don't know Boba's character then. I'm sorry.
Well, but at the same time, it's supposed to be a rebirth, right? That scene in the desert where he's crawling out of the Sarlacc is supposed to act as a rebirth. He's not supposed to go into the Sarlacc pit and come out as the same person, right? When you're getting digested over 1,000 years, he didn't know he was going to be able to get out. He was unconscious, went for we don't know how long, and he breaks his way out, and it literally looks like a birthing, right? He is literally and Patton Oswalt. I love that John took the Patton Oswalt speech out of Parks and Rec. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that was brilliant.
Out of Parks and Recs, and literally uses that speech as the first scene of Boba, right? It's a rebirth. He's not supposed to be the same gunslinger he went in, right? The whole point of the show is him realizing I belong with other Mandalorians because they're the only ones that have the same mentality that I do, right? That's the whole point of the show. You're supposed to hate the modders. You're supposed to hate Black Chrysanthemum.
Nobody likes the modders.
You're supposed to hate them. That's the point. He's not going to find family in a bunch of kids or with a bunch of bounty hunters that have no loyalty. But when he's in the cantina about to walk out and face the Pikes and tells Din, look, dude, you can bail. Like, you don't have to die for me. And what does Din tell him? I'm here to the end.
And then Boba Fett agrees.
He learns in that moment. It's Mandalorian creed is about honor. And that's the whole point of this story is in that moment. That one piece of the story is the entirety of the story.
And they
Finding his tribe.
even very subtly but not subtly cap it off. Isn't the last line of the entire show Boba Fett going,
Yep.
I don't know if I'm cut out for this.
Yes.
Like
That's
literally,
exactly-
not
and
going
that's
to
what
be
I'm-
the Daimo
That's-
anymore at all.
That is my whole point. Like, I'm not saying that maybe Book of Boba feels like a waste of time to you guys, or to some people within the
It's
fandom.
setting up future Boba.
But that's the
Exactly.
thing. That's the thing. You clearly didn't understand Boba Fett's character from the Clone Wars, all the additional content. Because all we know him as in the original trilogy is this badass dude that just stands there.
Not the Boba Fett I grew up with. This is not the Boba Fett I grew up with. It's just not.
The actual story of Boba Fett, though, is that this dude's a poor clone version of his father that loses his
poor.
father and is on his. You know what I mean?
Well, and he doesn't even
it's a sad story.
We don't know what Jango told Boba, right? We don't know how much conversation they really had about the past. But Boba never gets the story of Jaster. He never finds out about who taught Boba to be Mandalorian, right? He never talks about I was a Mandalorian and left after they killed Jaster, right? Like they never talk about this, but in Book of Boba Fett, he pulls his arm out and he goes, "This is my chain code. You see, there's my name and there's my father's name, and then you see Jaster's name on that." They don't do that for nothing. I'm not saying
No.
I'm not saying that the show for me was not it definitely wasn't a win, but it definitely wasn't a loss. And I'm going to take a quote from White Men Can't Jump. Sometimes when you win, you really lose. And sometimes when you lose, you really win. And sometimes when you win or lose, you actually tie. Right? Like that's what
Yes.
Star Wars is right now because the story isn't done yet.
Bro, whatever that means, I just want to see. I'm with Saber Sith. I want to see some more Chupac. You know,
But
I was
that's
actually
the whole
earlier.
point of my rant, though, and why I've been saying the entire stream, have some freaking patience, because Book of Boba Fett is literally the story of Boba Fett getting eaten by a Sarlacc, coming out and going, "Yo, this freaking bounty hunter shit is crazy. Everyone I know that's been a bounty hunter has died in the sand. I literally found Fennec Shand basically dead in the sand. Cad Bane dies in the sand." That's literally what happens to bounty hunters in Star Wars. They die in the sand. So he has a second chance in this freaking show to start a new life. He ends up, creating a family, finding a purpose and family with the Tuskens in the beginning or in the flashback story. And what happens to them? They get murdered.
They die
So
in the sand.
They die in the sand.
It's coarse
And so-
everywhere.
Hey,
Look,
And so
Jango Fett
fucking
died in the
poetry.
sand. Different
He-
planet,
he-
same sand.
he at this point feels an attachment to Tatooine, which is why he tries to become the crime lord there because, hey, Jabba did it and Jabba's just a fat slug. I could probably
Well,
do
but
it better than him.
He also saw. Look, I mean, that's the thing about being a
Yo,
bounty hunter.
and
is
if
that-
Boba Fett ends up dying on Mandalore, pulverized glass, aka sand.
right? I mean, look, it's.
Anakin would hate us all.
But here's the thing: is that if ultimately to get Boba on Mandalore, he has to realize he's not cut out for this, right? Because that's all he knows. The last thing he saw was Jabba running Tatooine, living that good life, getting servants, having all this, and then he gets out of the Sarlacc and he sees Bib doing the same thing. He's like, "Whoa, I want some easy money. I don't want to, I don't want to kill people for money. I want the easy life." And then just realizes being the boss sucks, dude. Sometimes being the boss sucks. It's not always puppy dogs and ice cream. And so he realizes it's not thing. And this is what gives us the opportunity for Din to come pick up Boba and to go back to Mandalore and to have this band of misfits get together. I can't wait. 2 weeks from now, we're going to start getting the Mandalorian revival. We're going to start to get the going out and grabbing your band of misfits from every covert. We're going to see the Armorer join the cause. We're going to see Bo-Katan and potentially the armor in the same room together, right? This is, I mean, whether that's Rook Cast, whether that's another Mandalorian, it doesn't matter. The fact is they hate each other. We could see some Mandalorian on Mandalorian crime in 2 weeks. It's going to be fire, dude. And the fact that Bad Batch is simultaneously walking through this arc at the same time, man, it's all bets are off.
How's it gonna sound like Game of Thrones if everybody's all hunky dory, reunite Mandalore?
Nah,
Yay,
dude.
we're all
Okay,
here.
so
I don't
she-
think that's gonna happen, guys.
She put up a post the other day, or no, your stream. Do you still have that picture of the
Like,
helmets?
how many factions we really got?
I found.
Oh,
Hold on,
I can send it
I
to
found
you.
the other Kiner brothers picture.
Do it.
Oh, throw it up.
No, he's been making something the whole time.
Do you know how?
Let him
It's
troll you.
not. Yeah, well, let me share. Hold up. I gotta try it again.
He created this by himself, guys.
No, I swear to God, this is right off.
Took him the last hour. He worked really hard. Don't laugh.
He's been diligent.
This is the one from earlier today.
The storm's coming, Annie.
Yeah.
Storm is coming.
They posted that.
So what?
Yeah,
is
the
it?
Kiners did.
Hmm.
So between that and the trampede
Storm's
of of dynamite on Wrecker or Hunter or whoever it is,
Huh.
something bad's gonna happen. I feel like. I mean, Jen Corbett's trying to say that it'll feel like a hug or something, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of worried.
I mean,
Oh, man.
like I said, Mandalorian's 2 weeks away. We get both. The thing is, who's gonna watch Bad Batch first? Nobody. Nobody's watching Bad Batch on the first. I'm sorry. Like I just feel like it is what it is. But
It depends on what the tweet is that day. I mean, honestly.
It is what it is.
I mean, look, it's going to be awesome either way. It doesn't really matter. It's going to be fire, and the fact
Maybe
that we're
somebody
getting,
leaks it and makes everybody watch it first.
I have no
Well, I mean,
idea. what
honestly,
just
they've
predicted, but I hit
they've
them.
kept a really tight lid on what's going on too. There haven't been a lot of leaks on Mando, from what I understand.
No leaks
And-
on the animated stuff ever.
Ooh,
Really.
That's what I'm saying.
so one other thing I'm gonna share.
And this one he was making the whole time.
No. So, I stumbled on this.
Everything
'cause
is
I kept
sus.
using the I was editing a short and I kept using the trailer video for the premiere. And you know how everybody keeps talking about metamorphosis, like Omega possibly aging up? Oh, crap,
Yeah.
Where'd it go?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, here we go. So you look at this part. This is like a real small part of the trailer. Does that look like a young Omega or an older Omega?
Hmm.
And she looks pretty
Whoa,
sad.
what?
They just died. Yeah, this is
Is
in
that
the trailer.
Is that Omega?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. I could see her aging up. Like,
And I'm like, I'm not that smart. How am I the only one that's seen this?
Bro, like, yeah.
not everybody's going frame by frame. They have their eyes are in other places.
I was just digging for something to use.
Never
for
know. There's a hat on that person, so anything is possible.
It's Omega's hat, bro.
Is it?
Right? That's
Yeah.
totally Omega.
And they
Okay.
even show
I mean,
her
it,
like
it looks.
really-
It looks like.
that's young Omega, and then
Although I will say, even in this
is part of
show,
my
it
video.
seems more mature. Maybe it's just because they changed her hair, but
So
Glad you
she
got
does
that.
seem to be more competent.
yeah, that's totally her.
It's an
That
aged
does
up
look
Omega.
a lot like. I don't know. It looks so. That's hard. It looks almost like black hair, but like that's hard.
Where are they? We don't know.
She keeps it short, bro.
recognize that
Look,
structure.
she keeps it short.
She keeps. Yeah. But,
She keeps it short. Hair gets in the way when you're trying to pull that bow and arrow.
Mm.
All right.
Oh, there's a good
So
one.
I'm not ready for that.
so this is the article that the Empire cover, right?
Oh,
It's one of the exclusive photos in
Okay.
their. It's not the cover, but it's one of their exclusive
So
photos.
we see Din, we see Boba, we see Bo-Katan, we see a lot of Mandalorians here. This is what this season is going to be about. This season, if the first season was about Din, finding the kid and feeling for him, and not wanting to turn him over to the Empire, this is what this season is about, and this is about the lore of Mandalore. and we see what 11 helmets here.
Yeah.
There are going to be a lot more than 11 helmets in this show.
But do you think they're going to introduce 11 houses?
No, I don't think this is about houses. I think this is about individual Mandalorians now, because the houses are all but over, right?
I don't know, man.
I think the
They're
color
only
schemes
over because the Darksaber was not a thing.
Well, I don't even know about that. I think they just probably spread out across the galaxy. Like, who knows exactly what's happened with Mandalorians since then. But I will say there's different, like, maybe it's just random that they have different colors. What up, dude?
What up? What up?
But, there is...
Oh, man.
There is color schemes to the armor in Star Wars Rebels when we see the different clans there.
Right.
So the fact that there's similar colors, I think even you, Obsession, maybe talked about that, and that's where I got this from for sure. But the fact that there's still the same kind of color schemes here in the Mandalorian trailer, I think that they are still around. I think that's for sure. But there's definitely not 11 houses, because obviously the armor is one of those. Paz Vizsla is one of those. Bo-Katan's one. I honestly think Boba Fett's the one right there.
I think one of those might even be Sabine's.
I think it's the middle bottom one.
Yeah, I think it's the
middle bottom, the middle one. So
the owl looking one.
The one beneath Din Djarin is actually Casca Reeves.
Okay. Yep.
Who's coming back, which is awesome.
Yeah,
I would love to see.
It does look a lot like I'm looking at it on my other screen right now. That one looks
bottom left isn't hers.
It's not.
I thought just a middle left.
I mean, maybe she's changed it.
Bo-Katan's is the center, is the third row center, right?
She's the one next to Din Djarin.
Okay, so here.
Oh, she's okay.
She's
the other one next to Din Djarin is the green and white Mandalorian that we saw in season 1.
And this is Din Djarin, right?
No. Bo-Katan's to the right.
This is Bo.
Yeah.
Yes. With the owl markings.
All right.
Din.
The bean has to have an antenna thing like the boba on the right, though. So
she would also have markings on her helmet as well. That's why I don't think she's in
on the forehead, right?
Sabine changes hers all the time, so
is
the
this
markings
Boba right here?
matter.
No, Boba's the bottom one with the dent.
Oh, yeah,
bottom right.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah, that's Boba. And people were speculating. Maybe it's not Boba, but no, come on, it has a dent.
It's the only Beskar in the universe that has a dent.
Yeah.
It's the only helmet in the universe that has a legit dent.
I do wonder if some are unknown.
Oh, for sure.
Like why they purposely put Boba Fett at the bottom next to only one other helmet. Who's that? Who's that other helmet?
That, as far as I know, for the scenes with a crap ton of Mandalorians or however many Mandalorians there's going to be, like, I'm pretty sure they had fans or like 501st members, like, so, you know, people that create their own armor come in, and a lot of people mold their armor off of Boba Fett, so maybe it looks like Boba's, and that's why there's a dent.
What if this is Omega's helmet? It's identical. It's identical to Boba's. No color, but it's identical.
I'm sure it would be if she was alive and a Mandalorian.
That's I mean, what if it's that white prototype armor?
You know, I want that.
I know. I want that. You know what's sick is I want that helmet. I want that helmet real bad. Like, I almost bought it the other day. It's ridiculously expensive, dude.
I think that
we should just make it.
I think that very bottom left one could be Sabine's. Now I look at it again.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly, there's a lot of this season for me. I feel like this season of Mandalorian is going to be probably the best, to be honest. I mean, the Mandalorian lore that's going on in this show is going to be fucking fire. Like nothing we've ever seen. We got bits and pieces of it in Rebels. We got bits and pieces of it in Clone Wars. But really, I feel like this show is going to hit, and it's going to be a lot because it's mainly about Mandalorian lore. I mean, Din is basically on the road gathering an army. He's bravehearting this shit, basically. Right? I mean, that's how I look at it. What's up, Dan?
What's up, Master Jedi?
What's cracking, brother?
Talking to all my Valentines right now.
You shouldn't say that here. They could find out about each other.
They'll be all right.
You shouldn't say that here.
Oh,
We don't want them
no.
to find out about each other.
Did you guys stay out of trouble tonight? By the way, you got all the significant others taken care of. You didn't.
Oh
mess
yeah, I
up?
went to drop off some stuff. So I wanted to stream all night. Plus, she's at work, so before this, I ran to do some errands, drop off some flowers for her when she gets home. Hopefully, she's not watching and gets spoiled for it.
Currently wishing my Valentine's son a happy birthday.
There you go. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. So you guys got your prediction game going over at Santa's house.
It's gonna be rough this week, I think.
Everybody's not sure about where we're gonna go, and it's gonna be a weird week. The next 2 weeks, are about Bad Batch, but after that, man, it's Bad Batches in the back seat because Mando's coming up, and I think, like I said, I think that could take over the media. I think the first
It
episode
is.
we're coming
It's
in
going
is gonna
to.
be hot.
Of course.
To go back to that the picture with all the helmets, and you don't have to pull it up, but I wanted to pull this up just to give a reference. So this is from the trailer, and I think the orange dude might be one of the helmets that we see. Just if you want to bring that back up. But that might be one of the, the boba looking ones. And then the other, I might even be wrong. Maybe it's not even Casca Reeves, and the white one is the one I think is Casca Reeves. And then there's even a white and green one from season 1 that I believe is going to be in this season as well. And that one's at the top, like left or whatever. So
Aren't these
it might
all
even
the
just be a lot of
players?
randos.
We got to
Yeah,
have a
Rando
Planet Red
Mandos.
representative.
That's what I
man.
think. Yeah.
But yeah.
Because Dave was like, yeah, let's get a bunch of fan cosplayers for this season.
Hmm.
I think that's what it
That's
is.
cool.
But
Well, it's definitely going to be exciting, right? Because we left season 2 off with this band of misfits all together on Moff Gideon's cruiser, right? And Luke and Grogu take off, and the next thing we really see is just Boba and Din on Tatooine, and Grogu shows up, and that's it. It just seems to me like this, like I said, I don't know the point of the Bad Batch yet, right? It's still, whether it's Omega is a new character they're building for Mando, whether she's a character they're building to be much like Ahsoka, to be a carry over into what we have now, but I just can't see it being for nothing, right? Yeah, we're getting to see some stuff we've never seen before. We're getting to see some of Palpy's plans coming into action. Order 66 is over. We've only seen Ginji, right? That's the only Jedi we've seen.
Ganji.
So really, this show has to be about something more. It just seems like that's just the feeling that I get from it. It's got to be setting up, or it's got to be feeding us into something else.
Well, they're laying the groundwork, right? The Zepho ship, the whole era of this dark time that we're living in, Palpatine throwing him under the bus, the state of people's lives. Like, it's dealing with relevant shit. It's just treading very slowly with my goddamn time. Look, I just can't wait till all this shit is over with and we get back to what is really, Mando is like the driving force right now. So I think, with Cal coming in and all that good shit, it's gonna be a wild ride, man.
Okay, so here's the one question for the day while we give the viewers, like I said, guys, there's a QR code up in the chat. Feel free to hit that QR code if you want to give us your opinion on anything or say anything. Try to
I've
keep it.
messed with it. It's really easy. It will automatically take you to like a link where you just upload the video.
Jeez.
It asks you for permission to use your camera and your mic, and you just send it. It's sick.
Right. So
And I also heard it prevents male balding.
Well, that's not.
Wow.
I don't know. Hopefully, it'll regrow hair. Okay, so the question is: are we going to see any Jedi in this episode?
What?
Do we see? Do you think we'll see a Jedi? Do you think it'll be any younglings? Any?
Well, since this is a Star Wars Santa prediction, me and Nerd Mafia should say probably not.
Probably gonna. It's like
There's
almost
always a
automatic.
really-
Nope.
There's a really strong chance we could always get a Kanan.
At
Really
some
strong
point, I
chance.
feel like we have to see the Kanan Hera meetup.
You watched
Right?
Rebels before, right?
Yeah, but you know he was.
Was he
in-
like, "Hey,
show
clones, how you
already.
doing? Nice to see you"? No, he wasn't.
No, but I mean Hera liking the Bad Batch and Omega sets that, you know.
They're still a baby though.
Well, yeah, I mean Hera and Kanan are the same age, right?
Yeah,
but-
So it would be awesome to see them together at some point in this show.
That's preteen love, man. It's preteen
That's what
love.
I mean. But that they're
Who's
high
driving
school
the van
stars.
now? Obsession. Who's driving?
They started their journey together and fell in love
Boston
as kids, and
Postman.
their love endured.
Yeah, I don't know how old are they when they actually.
The
meet up,
only
but-
thing that she says is that I haven't seen your hair this short since we first met. And his hair, I mean, as a youngling, you know, he only had the Padawan
Mhm.
tail. So
Mhm.
it seems like it could be sometime in the Bad Batch. It would be nice if it was sometime, you know, in this time frame, but we'll see.
I think if
Um,
we did see him, it would be something like we get Hera for most of the episode, and then we see her reunite with him with Batch off screen. I
Well,
think
and-
that'd be the best way to play it.
I just think again that why would they put Hera in early episodes of the Bad Batch if they weren't planning on using them more and showing us that Easter egg, right?
Gosh,
Just-
she's in Ahsoka.
Yeah.
She's gonna
No.
be on the show.
Yeah, right. Well, and we will see her in Ahsoka, right? I mean, that's the other thing is it's, you know, the castings have been confirmed. We're going to see, you know, some of these people in the live action Ahsoka too. So this show setting a lot of that up seems to be, you know, this could be some setup for Ahsoka also, right? I mean, they gotta put in the time somewhere. So, who's staying up tonight? I know. Are you guys actually going to make it tonight, Sheev, or what?
Yeah, I've been making it lately. Come on, I'll make it
Coast.
tonight.
Well, I know you missed it. I know you missed it once. So you know,
I did. I missed it the week we did. I think faster. Or no. It was the week after.
It was
that.
the week after Faster.
AKA the week he took a nap.
Yeah, the week you fell asleep.
Yeah, no, yeah, I did.
I did.
It was like 10:30, and I was like, "Yo, I need to shut my eyes for like 10 minutes," and then it was like 1 a.m. The next thing I knew, I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!"
Yeah, it happens. You know, they could release these things at, you know, midnight East Coast would be better, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, why don't they do
Perfect.
it like HBO,
It's
right?
absolutely perfect.
They don't care.
HBO does it at 9:00, you know, West Coast time, so that everybody gets a chance to watch it. So,
Amazon
so
too.
Sheev's staying up late. Who else is staying up late?
I'll be up.
You'll be up. Dan's up.
Mr. Skip every other episode is gonna be up late for Bad Batch.
What? You calling me out?
Damn right.
Every other, you mean like watch 3, skip 3?
What is happening right now?
Shots are fired. Pew pew.
Last one you told us last. Wait, shit. Were we on?
He did. He did. Don't let him
He did.
slip. He said it. He said
He
it.
did.
Were we on air for that convo? I'm pretty sure we were. Right?
I think we were. I'm pretty sure
Oh
we
yeah,
were.
we go back and watch it, Dan.
My bad.
Yeah,
He
have-
said,
we
he
have
said
video
and I quote,
footage.
I stopped
We have
after the
receipts.
3rd episode.
Oh
We have
yeah,
receipts.
and
Oh yeah, I said that.
did I
Oh,
not?
yeah, you're right. I did. I totally said that.
It was fresh for me. That's the last time I was here. So that's what I
Oh,
remember you
so
saying.
you didn't catch the stream where I said, "Hey y'all, I'm a sequel trilogy fan now." Huh?
No, I was still watching.
Now.
I just wasn't here.
Wait, what? Your mic cut out. What'd you say?
Go ahead, call me on the bullshit, but don't congratulate me when I actually do good. Okay, all
You
right.
said you're a
No,
sequel
no, we
trilogy
remember.
fan now?
Yes,
That's
yes.
not the good. That's like you're back in the doghouse with me.
Wow.
He's like, don't brag about it.
Getting the hate
what is
like Jar
happening?
Jar here, man.
I ain't
Wow.
even touch it, bro.
Man, who pissed in your blue milk, man? Like, why are you coming after me? What is that?
Catching the hate like little ants,
Now it's
dude.
now it's green milk. Just like a Galaxy's Edge.
Green cocaine milk, bro. Green cocaine.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
And we're out.
Yo. Thanks, Daniel Fisher. Appreciate it. Shit.
What is happening?
I don't know, my dimples hurt though. I gotta start.
You got to stop smiling so much. Annie, little Annie,
There's a
Oh my
storm
God.
coming.
there's a storm coming, Annie. You better get
It's
inside.
in my bones.
All right, so Chief's staying up, Dan's staying up. Matt Cave couldn't be here. We missed the guy, but he's at home. He's too busy doing stuff. So hope he's feeling okay. East Coast getting snow. Guys are getting a little cold front. Stay warm. Us West Coast 75-degree days will be perfectly fine. But yeah, what anybody got anything going on? Let's close this puppy out.
I'm a gamer and I know things. Come chat between raids, man. We just
Yeah,
talk
we
dirty
need-
shit.
We need to get you back up on the games, bro. I haven't seen a Tarkov stream all week. Like,
I know. I've been building. My friend Obsession, and guys, seriously, like you don't know how generous Obsession is. He has
stop
helped.
it.
He has helped numerous people with audio alone, and he hooked me up with a really nice setup. So I'm gonna be
Yeah,
able to do
you,
some
no,
really
you guys
fun
don't have
things,
the slightest
on my
clue
stream.
of how great of a guy this guy really is. Like, I'm
Oh,
sure you do,
lots of 'em.
but you don't.
Yeah.
You do. You
The
all do.
least you could do if you have not is click the damn button. He's 20 people away. We got to get him there.
17
He's-
now.
he's
I did
helped-
I did
He has
a
helped some of
refresh.
your favorite YouTubers get there.
Anybody who
personally-
will tolerate me for
He has
this
personally
long,
taken nights out of his week to boost them. You know?
Well, I
He's brought whole
enjoy.
communities together here. So
Well, and see, this is where we got to get Matt going again because he's like the resident gamer, right? Like I try not
retro.
retro
Killing
and
it.
current, but his retro gaming is on point. But
Mhm.
the Matt Cave, if you're not subscribed over there,
Legend.
he's our gaming guy. So whenever we're streaming games, I try to do it over there because he's our gaming expert. Unless it's Star Wars related. If it's a Star Wars game, then we're 100% doing it here. And so yeah, we have played that game together. It is a ridiculous amount of
Oh,
fun.
yeah, I still have that.
We still have it, and we're still trying to get on it more. I've been in Hogwarts for a week. I beat the game already. I'm just trying to 100% it.
That's sick.
Yeah, I finished the story arc
wild.
yesterday. I'm just
I haven't had a lot of time to play it, but it's fucking cool.
I'm going through and getting 100 on everything, but so that's why I haven't been streaming because I've literally been at Hogwarts like 6 to 8 hours a day right now. It's ridiculous. I used all my off time this week just to beat the game. I didn't stream it, but it's really fun. It's really honestly, if they made a Star Wars game like this, bro, it would be fire.
Yeah.
I need the multiplayers. I need the multiplayer Star Wars. I
Bro,
can't be doing this.
I'm telling you, if
player storylines.
I'm gonna say it outright. Lucasfilm Games, y'all need to poach Portkey employees.
No,
all right,
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you straight up. Portkey Games is on fire. They made a mobile game about 5 years ago that was very similar to Pokemon Go. It really didn't hit, but it was all right. Pokemon Go just knocked it out of the park. But
that's like the best mobile game
dude,
ever.
that
in my
honestly,
opinion.
Pokemon Go might be the best mobile game ever to come out. Like for
It is.
getting people off their ass.
I
Like,
gotta
walking
add
around.
obsession now.
But to be honest, Portkey Games has their shit together. And this new Harry Potter, not even Harry Potter, this Hogwarts Legacy game, it's not even have anything to do with Harry Potter. This Hogwarts Legacy game is fucking fire. And if Lucasfilms was smart, they would start poaching and throwing huge dollar amount contracts to these game creators because Portkey Games is fire. That game is so in depth and so good. I have not been able to stop. And when I'm not playing, I'm thinking about it. It's ridiculous.
Voice acting and shit in it too. Like
It's
everything's
ridiculous.
spoken.
No, it's top tier.
It's ridiculous. The fact that you can look. I'm a small business owner in Hogsmeade right now, my guy. Okay, I'm breeding beasts. Like it's ridiculous. All right, I've got hippogriff babies, I've got unicorn babies, I've got niffler babies. I've got all kinds of.
Holy
I just
shit.
caught a phoenix. I've got all these crazy. It's so in depth, right? You're
I saw you can like grow plants and splice them together and like
you're
Yeah.
growing your own mandrakes. You're making your own
Mhm.
potions. You breed and take care of the beasts to get their fur and their feathers to make your clothing more powerful. It's ridiculous, right? Like
that's crazy.
it's insane. It is probably it's the most in-depth open world game I've ever played.
See, they should do something like that, but with the Mandalorian.
That's dude, it's amazing. Honestly, if you haven't played it, I recommend it. I know there was a lot of hate for the game from one side or the other, but I got to say that is probably one of the best games I've played in a really long time. And if Star Wars and Lucasfilm Games was smart, you would start poaching these people and getting them to come over and work for you because their shit is just fire. Sorry. Not sorry.
Hogwarts
Do it.
obsession.
Dude, it's good, man. I've been watching other people play. It's so good. There's so many ways you can play it. That's what's so great about open world games is you don't have to follow. You do the story, but you do the story when you want to do the story. You go learn all this other shit and do all these other missions and then get back to the story. That's the brilliance of these games. And Star Wars could take a few notes. Just saying. You could take a couple notes. So, to close out, make sure to get over and subscribe to these guys. We're on a different platform, so I have to go in and add the stuff after the stream. The links in the description after the stream, but get over there and subscribe to these guys. We're like 17, 18 people away from hitting our mark. We are going to do the giveaway. It's still happening. We're gathering more stuff for it. I'm going to put a poll out to see how you guys want to do this and when you guys want to do this. But get out there and make sure to subscribe. Make sure to follow all these guys. Everybody here has good channels to go watch. Everybody's putting out great content and everybody's having a great time. Oh,
just got it. I'm holding it
Oh.
in this little case here.
nice.
You go leave a comment on any of the Bad Batch videos I put out.
That's the only Bad Batch pop I don't have, and I've always wanted.
Well, Steve, you might have to just put some comments out there, okay?
Might have to comment.
I guess so.
But as always, I'm going to close the show the way we always do. In the words of the great Bob Barker, don't forget to get your pet spayed and neutered, help control the pet population. And as always, make sure to follow and support content creators on YouTube and everywhere else because everybody supports everybody. We should all be rising each other up and not tearing each other down. So thank you guys. Hawks Holocrons, my guy, the Nerd Mafia, coming in hot tonight. Sheev the Wise, as always, thanks for coming. Dan, thanks for joining us, even though you're busy on the ho phone. Have a great night, everybody.